Good evening. I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. For some reason, I was just kicked off Facebook, but I'm back on again. So tonight I want to talk about something that's very important, especially to baby boomers who might be looking around their house and realizing that we have way too much stuff. And I guess the question becomes, what are we going to do about that? So do you know that the average American household has over 300,000 items in it? University of California actually did a study. They went through a number of homes and they counted every single item in there, and it was over 300,000 items. And many of us baby boomers, of course, have much more than that. So perhaps you become blinded to how much stuff is actually in your home, that you just don't even see it anymore. It's called clutter blindness. So clutter blindness is not unusual. It happens because it takes us a long time to collect things, and we continue to purchase new things that we want, need, and we think we're going to use. And then we continue to receive gifts from other people that are either wanted or unwanted. And then we often inherit things from our family and from other people. So our big homes keep becoming a repository for way too much stuff. So how do you know when you have too much? These are just a few of the signal that you've officially crossed that line of way too much stuff. So even though you have a big house, is filled, and your big home feels cramped, even though you have plenty of space, you don't have enough room to actually enjoy your life. As an example, you have to clear off your kitchen counter just to prepare a meal. So a second way that you know that you have too much stuff is handle, so that you can just close your eyes. You don't even want to deal with it. So you attempt to remove some of it, but then the task is so overwhelming, so you get discouraged, even disgusted, and you just put it off to another day. So if you exhibit any of the signs experiencing the impact of the burden of just way too much stuff. So when you feel this, you feel the impact of it every day. When you wake up, when you get home from a long day after work, or when you go to bed at night. You're stressed out, you're frustrated, and you're overwhelmed. So you even have difficulty focusing in your own home as you have way too much stuff. And you get that at some point, either you or someone, likely your children or your family, are going to have to deal with it. So you finally wake up and you realize that you have too much stuff. And then the question becomes, what are you going to do about it? So you're here tonight maybe for a reason. Maybe you're going to admit for the first time that you do have too much stuff, and that you're here with me tonight because you already have taken that first big step by recognizing that you have too much stuff and you need to start somewhere so you can begin the process of clearing the clutter so you can prevent further accumulation. So the second step, though, is to dig deep and understand why you bought so much in the first place and why you continue to keep it and why it's so hard to let it go. So one of the main reasons, there's probably many reasons, but three of the top reasons that we purchase more stuff, we keep the stuff, is we have this mindset of just in case you might need it, or the what if mindset. So this mindset has allowed us to talk ourselves into buying things or keeping things, that you want to be prepared, you don't want to run out, so you buy more, even if you don't need it or use it, and then you continue to hold on to it. So no wonder our homes accumulate a lot of stuff. And then the thing is, too, is if you want to let go of that mindset, what are you going to do about it, and how are you going to do it? So ask yourself if there's something else that could be used instead, or if you could rent or lease those items. So for instance, if you're having a big party, do you really need a set of 16 or 24 dinnerware pieces that are just sitting around day to day, or could you rent that or borrow it? So you start to ask yourself if there's other ways that you can not have to have it, but you could somehow get it. So, and then the other question to ask is, what would be the worst case scenario if you did give that away? So if you have a service for 16 or 18 or 24, suppose you kept 4 or 6. The second reason that we buy stuff and we keep stuff is guilt. So guilt is a big reason that we hold on to things. So guilt about how much you spent on something. So you bought a beautiful leather coat or a silk jacket and you spent way too much on it. And even though you might not wear it, you still keep it because you spent so much money on it. So you're guilty. And so you're guilty also that it was a gift. Someone had given it to you, maybe a loved one. And so you're not wanting to let go of it because you're guilty. So, and guilty because you feel obliged to keep something, pass it on. This frequently happens with that we get that we think we should hold on to so we can give it to the next generation. So what do you need to let go of those things that you feel guilty about? What are you going to do about it? If you spend a lot of money on it, and that does happen certainly, maybe you just need to realize, okay, I made a bad decision. I shouldn't have spent that much money. But anyway, so just go ahead and let it go and chalk it up to just a poor decision. And then you could sell it or donate it. And remember that a gift is a gift. So someone who has given you a gift, and that was given with love, it was because they cared for you. But you're not obligated to keep it. Once it's yours, it's really up to you to do with it what you want. And just remember, and this is where you can, easily let it go, is that it was something someone gave you because they cared about you. It doesn't mean you have to hold on to it. And a third reason that we keep so much stuff around our house is because it's sentimental. So our stuff carries memories, that's for sure. And we become attached to those items, trying to hold on to that memory. But when you have too much stuff, and when you're attached to too many things, then it doesn't mean quite as much anyway. So when you have a hard time letting go, we get ourselves into trouble because we have too much, and there's so much emotion attached to it. So what do you do about that? And really, you just recognize that it's the memories that are they're there, and that the memories are not going to leave you, but the stuff could. So when you reduce the amount of sentimental items that you have and keep only those items that are the most important ones to you, then you can start reducing the amount of clutter in your home. And when you have less, you actually end up valuing what you have more. And then another thought would be that you could display those few items, those special items, and you can appreciate them more each day and allow those memories then to live on. And another way that you, if you have too much stuff in your house and you're wanting to know what can I do about it, is to learn to enjoy living with less. And basically treat yourself to the benefit of the life-giving benefit of owning less. So with that being said, stop buying more, be more intentional about what you do buy only what you need when you need it. And then another thing is to stop stockpiling. We're often, we oftentimes do that if you go to the big box stores. But when you stop stockpiling, buy only what you need when you need it. And then the other one is to stop bargain hunting. So it's not a good deal if you don't want it or need it. And that's how our houses get filled with stuff. So learn to make do, enjoy living with less. So this is definitely life-changing. It's a new minimalist approach and a new way of thinking. And just admit that it is possible to not have so much stuff in your house. And admit that it is possible, so you can find joy in having a simpler life because it is life-changing. So, baby boomers, I'm just suggesting that we wake up. We do have too much stuff. And my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? All right, have a good night. Thanks for joining.